What I'm seeing is I see a hungry Crawford, a Crawford that has been looking for the opportunity for a long time, finally getting the opportunity, and really ready to grab.
And it's exciting. You know, Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, closer range, outside, and he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting. It's exciting.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you.
One few matchups in boxing history spark more debate than a potential showdown between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Terence "Bud" Crawford. Both men represent perfection in their own eras. Fans, pundits, and fighters have long argued over who would win if these two boxing geniuses ever shared the ring. But the conversation isn't just about skill, it's about legacy. Mayweather's flawless defense and technical mastery versus Crawford's explosive power, versatility, and killer instinct.
Definitely one of the greatest. He's done shit that Floyd Mayweather ain't done.
Like what?
Like what?
The audience that don't know.
He is
Two-time
a two-time undisputed champion. Floyd wasn't a one-time undisputed champion. So he has all the belts in one division and then moved up and got all the belts in another division. I don't know if that's ever happened in the history of boxing.
Yes, and he beat the man.
And he beat the man. Let's give Terence Crawford his flowers because everything he said he was going to do,
he done it.
He did it.
Floyd Mayweather retired with a perfect 50-0 record, one of the cleanest legacies in boxing history. His career was built on victories over world champions across 5 different weight divisions. Mayweather's ability to control distance, neutralize his opponent's strengths, and make world-class fighters miss by inches became legendary.
Floyd Mayweather stopped Conor McGregor in the 10th round to improve to 50-0 in what he says will be his final fight. I actually believe him this time, Max. What's his legacy?
Well, he's one of the great pure boxers who ever lived. He is never cheated himself. He always was in condition. He had no off nights. That's why he won every fight. It's one of the reasons. Not because he's one of the best to ever do it, and because he was always prepared over a very long amateur and pro career. Amazing. Another reason is he carefully selected opponents, knew when and where and when and who to fight, and basically changed the paradigm in boxing. I'll translate. He flipped the script. I mean, really, boxing is basically, and this is just the way it is, and I'm a huge boxing fan, and I make no apologies about it, but it is fans and networks essentially exploiting fighters. That's how it works. We want to, and we demand a level of dedication and risk-taking with your health that's insane, right? Like, someone's getting their head beaten every which way, and if you quit, you don't have heart. You can't be a great fighter, which is true, by the way. It's a blood sport. And Floyd, and usually fighters wind up broke and punch drunk. And Floyd Mayweather flipped the script. He said, no, I'm not going to let the game play me. I'm going to play the game.
Terence Crawford, on the other hand, has quietly built one of the most complete resumes in modern boxing. He's become an undisputed champion in multiple divisions, proving he can adapt to any style that comes his way. His switch-hitting, unpredictable rhythm, and fight-ending power have made him a nightmare in the ring. His dominance at welterweight has placed him in the same pound-for-pound conversations, once reserved for Mayweather himself, a torch that seems ready to pass from one era to the next.
Everything is on Terence Crawford's side, all the legacy, meaning he only has the opportunity to win the belts. Saul only has an opportunity to defend them. Terence Crawford has an opportunity to be in a 5 division and the only person to win all 4 belts in 3 separate weight divisions. Why is Saul taking this fight? And I'm going to tell you why. Because there's some things in life more important than just the belts. And that 20-year career that Terence Crawford made, that all that he has, is very valuable. Very, very valuable. He had 1 foot out the game. And if he can be the man to defeat him, because remember, if Saul beats him, Terence Crawford was the first man to get all 4 belts in 2 separate weight divisions. Yes, I beat that champion. Yes, I beat the multiple division champion, and he had the
Oscar de la Hoya, who fought Mayweather himself, believes Floyd still stands above everyone. He argues that Mayweather's resume, technical perfection, and ability to win under any circumstances make him untouchable in head-to-head comparisons. De La Hoya's words represent the old guard's loyalty to Mayweather's, the belief that nobody will ever replicate his level of control inside the ring. But then came Canelo Alvarez, a fighter who shared the ring with both men. Canelo shocked fans when he said Crawford is better than Mayweather, praising Bud's intelligence, timing, and adaptability, coming from someone who fought.
I have to disagree because Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo. Like, he literally toyed with him. He didn't get hit at all. Not one time. And Crawford, yeah, he's more of a fighter, boxer. Mayweather's more of a boxer. But I have to disagree. I think Mayweather is much more superior than Crawford. Not just because he beat me and it was a close fight, whatever, and or that I stepped in the ring with Mayweather, but I really feel that technically Mayweather's a better fighter.
You faced Mayweather, you were 23 years old, I believe?
23.
And
Just
again,
turned 23.
Yeah, you just turned 23. You didn't have a lot of seasoning. I know people say, oh, he had a lot of fights. Well, you didn't have an amateur career. You started boxing at 15 as a pro, right?
Yeah.
So you gave up the weight concession. You gave up the rehydration clause. And I always thought if you would have faced him, with some more seasoning, it would have gone differently.
He deserved the position in that moment because, Floyd Mayweather is one of the best fighters in the boxing history, and he deserved the position in that moment. I try to make history, and I try to put myself in the very top in that moment. But for some reason, doesn't happen, right? And yeah, like you say, if I had that fight with Miguel Angel Cotto first and all these kind of fights, and then fight Mayweather, maybe go in the different way. But we never gonna know. And I learned from that fight, and like I say, things happen for a reason.
Shane Mosley, who went 12 rounds with Mayweather, leaned slightly toward Crawford. Mosley said Bud's complete arsenal makes him more dangerous than Floyd ever faced. According to Mosley, Mayweather's brilliance is undeniable, but Crawford brings angles, aggression, and rhythm changes that Floyd never had to deal with in his time.
Who do you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually, he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, it's, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
6 still. Mosley has repeatedly made it clear Mayweather is no easy fight for anyone. His discipline, precision, and defensive genius made him one of the hardest puzzles in boxing history. Even the most talented fighters in the world found themselves helpless against Floyd's timing.
About his power, when you attack Floyd, he has a way of making you run into it and you feel the power, like a collision. But when you kind of box away from him, yes, he has power, but not like he does when you're trying to attack him. He's not weak, he's strong. Like I say, he trains hard and he does all the things you're supposed to do as a fighter or as a champion to be the best.
Andre Ward Crawford's close friend and fellow champion has passionately defended him against comparisons to Mayweather. Ward says Crawford's adaptability, composure, and ability to dismantle elite opponents prove that he belongs in the same conversation.
Who's the most skilled fighter today?
Bud is definitely one of them, for sure. Tyke Shakur, Devin, Boots.
Boots is
Jerron,
my favorite.
It's a lot of them, and they skillful in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody that, I can bet the house on is Bud. Because me and him, we so much alike in our mentality. Like, soon as I see this dude, he come in the room or I come in the room, we start arguing. About basketball, wrestling, anything, bro. Like, man, you can't, man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. You gotta really hurt that dude to turn him away and to try to stop him from doing what he wanna do. So, skillful, yes. But this, and this, it's different, man. There's not a lot of guys like that out there currently. There's a lot of guys that talk it. But until you get in that real fire, I'm not saying you fighting a guy you should beat. I'm saying a guy that it's a 50-50 matchup. We don't really know what you have. You don't even really know what you have.
Ward even calls Crawford the greatest of this generation. He's one of Bud's loudest supporters, not just out of friendship, but out of genuine respect for what Crawford has achieved. After Bud's dominant performance against Errol Spence Jr., Ward declared that Crawford had officially earned the right to be called the best fighter of this era period.
Andre, we just seen Terence Crawford create greatness and beat Canelo Alvarez tonight. What was your thoughts on that performance from Terence?
Terence Crawford, just great performance, man. He's been doing this throughout the course of his career. The stakes were a lot different in this fight, a lot more danger. He had to fight that kind of fight in order to beat Canelo Alvarez tonight. And he did that at 37, but getting ready to be 38 years old. And he proved, like Max said, that he is the GOAT of this generation. Hats off to Canelo for taking the fight. He didn't have to take it. Hats off to Turkey Al-Sheikh for putting it together. Just a great, great night for boxing.
Yeah. How special a fighter is someone like Terence Crawford? There was no signs of a size disadvantage there. How special?
You can see it in spots, but it wasn't significant. And I didn't think it was going to be significant. And people call me crazy, but I've been around Terence. He's strong. He's got a wrestling background, and people don't realize that he's been boiling himself down all these years and still being successful, not having to do that. His condition seemed impeccable, and his strength was there, the power was there enough to get respect from Canelo. So, what more can I say?
What would you like to see him do next? Do you think there's another fight after this?
I'd like to see him be done. What are we boxing for at this point? What else is there to do? There's always going to be a YouTuber or a reporter or somebody conjuring up another challenge. We box to get ourselves in a better financial position, to build a name and a legacy. Those boxes are checked. What else are we doing?
Yeah, brilliant.
Why are we still in the game?
Yeah, I get it. Andre, always good to talk to you. Appreciate it.